Hey friends, welcome back to Jenny Food and My Kitchen. It has been a busy few weeks for me, and tonight for dinner, honestly, I am just craving something simple, warm, and comforting. Now, a few weeks ago, I saw this recipe as I was scrolling, and I thought, there's coming a day that I'm gonna make this shepherd's pie soup. Well, today's the day. Let's make it. So for my ingredients, I've got 3 russet potatoes, I've got some beef bouillon, 1 pound of ground beef, I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of that butter, an onion chopped up, 2 carrots, 3 smaller ribs of celery, a cup of peas, a tablespoon of minced garlic, a teaspoon of thyme and parsley, and then of course just salt and pepper to taste. Friends, that's it for our ingredients. I'm looking for something easy peasy tonight, so let's get chopping. We will start with our veggies that go down first. So onion, carrots, celery. So first we'll go ahead and we'll go down with our onion. I'm just gonna cut these all the way across. I know some people like to do the crosshairs and keep it together. I like to just chop it into these like strips and then just go back in all the way down as I'm holding it and do it that way. All right, next we will move on with our celery, and I just want those kind of thin, not super big chunks. I know they'll cook down well. And I'm not going to make those like super small. All right, now I've got my carrots peeled. I'm just going to go ahead and cut these into quarters. And then we'll go ahead and just cut these into smaller pieces, about the same size as the celery. All right, friends, our vegetables are cut. We're going to take these and get these going back on the stove. All right, friends, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of butter, and we are going to get those vegetables softening. Now, as those vegetables are kind of cooking down, I will peel and chop our potatoes. And I'm just going to chop these potatoes into like bite-sized pieces. I mean, that's kind of the way I like to do it for anything with potatoes. Now, some of these potatoes we're going to go ahead and we're going to mash up a little bit for the soup. And then some of them we'll just leave whole. So I think it works both ways for the eating and for the mashing to have kind of smaller sized potatoes. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add our ground beef because we've got our vegetables kind of started. I've scooted over some of the vegetables to give some of this meat a little room to brown. We'll get our meat completely cooked. We'll let that brown, and then I'll just kind of mix it all together. As well as, now I think I said a tablespoon, but I meant a teaspoon. I've got a teaspoon, which is equal to a few cloves of garlic, and I'm just going to go ahead and add that now as well. And we will let all of that brown really good together. All right, our meat is about halfway done. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add our seasonings. Now, I've kind of flipped that meat once. I'm going to go ahead and mix that all together. But there is a teaspoon of thyme and a teaspoon. So now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to mix up the meat with the veggies and all that garlic and let this cook just a few minutes more until that meat is completely cooked all together with the veggies. Now I am just going to add these potatoes right on top, and there's a reason I'm doing it this way, because we're going to pull out a little bit of this potatoes just to mash them and kind of help to thicken the soup a little bit. So I am just going to kind of add them right on top like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add that 4 cups of stock right over the top of our potatoes. And that should cover everything very well. And of course there's a little bit of that beef base left. That's okay. Just scooch that on out. I forgot it in our ingredients. I'm going to go ahead and add just about a tablespoon of the W sauce. I think that'll give it a little added richness. And so we're just going to bring this up to a boil. I'm going to go ahead and cover that. And then once it comes up to a boil, I'll turn it to a simmer and let it go about 12 minutes until those potatoes are done. All right, our potatoes are done. Now I am just going to kind of fish out about a cup of those potatoes. They kind of moved around on me a little bit. And I might get a little meat in there, and that's okay. All right, I think that's good. I think that's about a cup. While I'm mashing those up, I'm just going to go ahead and add that 1 cup of peas and kind of mix those in. Those are good and mixed. Now I'm just going to take my regular potato masher and just kind of mash these. I've got soup in there. And I just kind of want to make those good and mashed up, because that will help to kind of thicken that soup at the end. All right, and we will go ahead and add those mashed potatoes, mashed with a little bit of that beef broth, right back into our soup. Mix that all together. And yeah, that gives it kind of a thicker, more hearty consistency. I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of salt and pepper, and then we'll give it a taste. All right, friends, would you look at that rich, delicious, there's hamburger and peas and carrots and goodness and potatoes. It's still very steamy and hot, but let's go ahead and try this. Oh, I know a little girl that is going to go nuts for this. Now, this is pretty basic as far as, you know, soups that I like to make, but every now and again, I mean, that. Every now and then you just want something that's like so steamy. You just want something kind of plain and comforting and warm with potatoes and meat and veggies and seasonings. Let's go ahead and give this a taste. All right, I'm going in, friends. Let's get some, I'm gonna get some carrots, some potato, some meat. Hot. I mean, you could certainly make this with lamb if lamb is your thing for shepherd's pie. I know technically, authentic shepherd's pie is lamb. Cottage pie is beef. So maybe you could call this a cottage pie soup. I don't know. But any way you want to call it, this is delicious. I mean, it's very simple. Yeah, I think I know a child that's going to eat this up without any complaints for dinner. Well, I need to serve up these other 2 bowls and get to it. Friends, I just want to thank you for all your love and support. Share this video if you know somebody that would like something kind of simple, warm, and comforting, or just add it to your list. because one day you're going to want something that's easy and warm and comforting too. So we'll see you soon, friends. Bye for now.